Jam on toast!
Hey there, welcome to the Jam. I'm Cameron. Today the toast is to the Bay. This is a video review for the formerly named Roosterteeth podcast screenplay, hosted by J.J. Jones. And if you want to do your own reviews and whatnot, include the hashtag RT Screenplay. We finally got it to go through. Yeah! And I'm just happy about that. I don't know why it really matters. But let's get on to the review. The short sell of this one is that this is a found footage film of this small town in Maryland that ends up with this huge medical situation. What I love it for this one is there's a scene where like the little arthropod jumps out of a fish's mouth, and they actually played it back later in the movie. And I jumped both times because trust me, it'll get you, especially if you're not expecting it. What I hated for this was the bacteria element. They went into this huge thing about this investigation about why the water's polluted or whatever, and it kind of takes the focus away from the arthropod thing being the bad guy, the monster, the whatever. I think if they had focused on one or the other, maybe it would have gone there. I don't see a big reason for the bacteria to be what you would focus on. Let's focus on the little monster thing that's eating people. You dig? The MVP for this movie? Oh, the editors. The people who had to slog back through all the film and the found footage to be like, well, this can go here and this and that and get it all together just to make it into some semblance of a movie. Oh, kudos, guys. I don't know who you are because I'm not looking that up. But let's get on to the categories.
Aesthetics.
Look, found footage doesn't bother me. This isn't very good quality. They put a lot of exposition. They put boards in and say, this is that. They put in a lot of exposition to say, this is what's going on. So you get that audio exposition. You get the found footage elements. They did a really good job on all the dead bodies. They did a really good job on the arthropod itself. They did a really good job of exampling it out, the little larvae things in places, all the boils, all the practical work to get people to look all ate up and dying, and the stomach movements. And look, they put a lot of good stuff in there. There was some good quality. They may have done it on the cheap, but hey, I think that from an effects perspective, this was a fantastic movie. Unfortunately, everything else coming together doesn't really give you that look. It really comes down to like, this is a bad look movie with some good special effects in it. Aesthetics gets a 75.
Character development.
I guess we have characters in this. We have a few key people. We have the lady telling her story, especially for being fed information and all these. So there are characters. It's like the bare minimum of acceptable character developments. Like, you have people with names. They transform from one point to another in the story. I guess that's character development. You don't get any quality out of it. You just don't care. I don't see why you would bother. Character development gets 51.
Storyline.
The story is people start getting sick in this town, and then their tongues start missing. As they investigate, they find out it's this little critter that's inhabiting their bodies and eating them from the insides. Do we care past that point other than the whole town dies and it covers up? Whatever. It's a whole story. It's not much of a story. It's this one town had a really bad day. It's a tragedy. I don't know if it's a story. Storyline gets a 20.
Compulsion.
I was pretty bored through a lot of this. I didn't really get into the movie. I fell asleep. I did not want to go back and finish watching it. I got probably into the third act. It's after the sailing people with the baby managed to get on, and I just didn't care. It's barely unwatchable, but it is, to me. I can't imagine why anyone would want to watch this a second time. Compulsion gets a 49. Now, if you total all that up, you get an average of 48.75. Look, there is some cool stuff in here. There's some very small redeeming values, especially in the special effects, and the premise is wonderful, but the execution is just horrible. I don't see how you get through all the process and go, yes, we made a good movie, yes. Because I don't think it is. I think someone might be able to enjoy it in a respect or two, but I don't think this is something I would consider to be a movie. I definitely can't recommend it to anybody. And again, I didn't finish it. I'm not going to go back and finish it. So that's what it is. Have a nice day. I am Cameron.
If you want to see anything else we're up to, go ahead and click the annotations and they'll take you to our other channels.